Hi, thank you for joining us today. And we're gonna, I'll ask you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your experiences as a student at the University of Minnesota Duluth.
So I originally did not want to go to UMD, but it's like one of the only colleges other than St. Scholastica around here, which is kind of pricey. But my wife, because I'm gay, who she was like, you can do this. You can go to UMD. You can you can do this. Because I was really like, I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna get in. And so she helped me prep and everything like that. And then I got in, and there are some really good people in that program. There are some flaws, absolutely, and I'll talk about those if you want me to. But I had originally not wanted to, but then I learned I did like some aspects of it, so I liked,
Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about your experiences with the Center for Regional and Tribal Child Welfare Studies?
Well, I think that Bree and Priscilla do a wonderful job. I really like them. They do a fantastic training, the Bridging Our Understanding training, just great. And they themselves have been very supportive in the program. Like I remember coming to them and it always being positive and feeling like I was listened to. So I would say they're definitely the strength. And also, getting a scholarship to help you pay for school to be able to do this work too was that was very supportive too.
Thank you. Can you describe an example of the content, more specifically the content that focused on American Indians that you most remembered and how it impacted you?
Well, I remember a lot about Evie's classes and Bunny Jagla's classes, both fantastic classes. I think the most impact that I had for those were the books that they assigned. Like personal narratives from, Native American people. Also, like Bunny having personal narratives from like health disparities in American Indian population. I think those were the most, they hit me the most in my heart, and then I was able to understand more. So I would say those were the most things that stood out to me.
Okay.
Research did not. Neither did statistics. Yeah.
Thank you. How did the center's cultural and spiritual foundations impact your worldview?
I don't know if it impacted my worldview. I think I have my own personal journey that I'm on. My wife is a Fond du Lac band member, and I live on Fond du Lac Reservation with her, with our children who, are as well. And so that I feel like my own personal journey gave me my own worldview. Not that I didn't learn more, but, living in American Indian culture, because obviously she lives in American Indian culture, so I live in it too. Obviously not to the same degree, because I'm always white, right? I'm always going to have that, so that her culture has kind of mixed in with mine, and I've taken on that worldview because it's that's my own personal journey. I wouldn't say that UMD affected that as much as it added to it with personal narratives. Okay. So that in itself, it didn't change that because I was always gay and I was always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. Thank you. How did your education at UMD and in particular with this unique curriculum, because not all social work programs have this added American Indian focus, how did that impact your practice as a social worker personally?
So I think it depends on the person who's willing to receive the information that they're being given. So taking the UMD classes and hearing personal narrative stories and learning about different things that have happened to Native American people, the history, ICWA and the lobbying past and stuff like that. I think that the person that receiving that in class it has to be willing to receive it and then interpret in a way that's going to be effective for them to help people. And for me, it was positive, right? Because I already had that basis of looking at the world differently. And I think that sometimes UMD, that I'm seeing now, because we do a lot of interns, the people that are coming out of UMD, I'm like, what's going on? Because it feels like it's not of a lot of people of color. And it's like, it feels like what's going on there, where it's a lot of like white, young, privileged people that are coming out of that program, which does concern me a little bit. Because not that they can't get somewhere on their own personal journey growth to like be a good social worker in ICWA, but it is harder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's more like, ooh, is it gonna happen or is it not gonna happen kind of thing. So that I was kind of concerned about that recently, kind of thing. Did I answer your question at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just looking because UMD's program is unique to other programs who just have the general, like there's no American Indian, not even electives. Nothing that focuses on American Indians. American Indian topics might be a week or a couple of readings in a diversity course.
Sure.
So UMD, we took a look at it. We did a study in partnership with the folks at UMD on their center and how it was founded, what was their journey of growing this program. And we wanted to look at the impact of this program on students.
Sure.
So is there anything else you would like to add about your experience as a student at UMD, and or would you like to comment on how important you may think it would be that other programs include more content on American Indian communities and history?
Well, I think that can happen at all levels. So like at a BSW level, at an MSW level, I think you should always add that content, especially if you're going to work in a field that is going to have direct contact with Native American people. Like, yeah, absolutely, there should be more content. There should be more content, because even though the person that might receive that content may not listen because of their own privilege and their own filtered history, their own history, that doesn't mean it can't plant a seed for them later on to like, oh yeah, wait, I did learn that in class, or I did hear that, or I read that narrative, like, so, I mean, it can definitely spark some personal growth for people to understand different cultures. So yeah, more content in any classes about Native Americans should be BSW level, MSW level, or like anybody who's working with Native American population. Doesn't even necessarily have to be a social worker.
Yeah.
So,
like
psychiatrists or psychologists or sociologists. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Is there anything else you would like to add? Anything that came to mind at all as we were talking?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much for your time and appreciate you sharing your experience and your expertise with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.